As you move forward, the journey enters a phase where everything begins to feel more serious, more defined, almost like you've crossed an invisible line between experimenting and truly building something that matters. And with that shift comes a new kind of awareness. Because now every decision you make has a ripple effect. Every video contributes to your identity, and every message shapes how people perceive you. And this realization can either sharpen your focus or overwhelm your creativity depending on how you handle it. You start to recognize that growth is no longer just about improving your content. It is about refining your vision, understanding exactly what your channel stands for, what kind of impact you want to create, and how you want your audience to feel after watching your videos. Because without that clarity, even good content can feel scattered. And scattered content rarely builds lasting influence. At this stage, you begin to think beyond individual videos and start seeing your channel as a larger narrative, a continuous story where each upload connects to the next, where themes evolve, where your message deepens over time, and this long-term thinking changes how you create. Because now you are not just chasing moments, you are building momentum. Your relationship with your audience also transforms, because now it feels less like broadcasting and more like communicating. Like you are speaking to people who understand your tone, who recognize your patterns, who anticipate your style. And this familiarity creates a stronger bond, making your content more impactful because it is received with trust rather than skepticism. But along with this deeper connection comes greater responsibility. Because the more influence you have, the more careful you need to be with your message, ensuring that what you say is not just powerful, but also meaningful. Not just intense, but also grounded. Because motivation without direction can feel empty, and your role becomes not just to inspire, but to guide. You also begin to notice subtle shifts in your creative energy. Moments where ideas flow easily, and moments where everything feels forced. And this teaches you an important lesson about rhythm. That creativity is not constant, it moves in cycles. And learning to work with those cycles rather than against them becomes essential for maintaining both quality and consistency. As your understanding deepens, you start experimenting with new formats, maybe longer narratives, more cinematic storytelling, different pacing, or even blending motivation with analysis. And these experiments push your boundaries, helping you discover new dimensions of your content, because staying within one style for too long can limit your growth. At the same time, you become more aware of the balance between originality and relatability, understanding that while your voice should be unique, your message should still connect with common human experiences. And finding that balance becomes a key part of your creative process because it allows your content to stand out while still being understood. And then, as this phase unfolds, you realize something that changes your entire perspective. That success on YouTube is not about reaching a final point where everything becomes easy, but about continuously adapting to new challenges, new expectations, and new opportunities, because every level brings its own complexity, its own demands. In the end, this stage teaches you that growth is not just about moving forward. It is about becoming more intentional with every step, more aware of your direction, more committed to your purpose, and more willing to evolve without losing the essence of what made you start. Because that balance is what allows you to not just grow, but to last.